Hey, good morning. Welcome to my channel. So I'm just going to get an overall energy today. It's the beginning of Sagittarius season, and I am a Sagittarius sun, so I'm pretty excited about this rebirth that I'm feeling and stepping into my power, and excited to share my journey with you. It's been 2 years in the making that I've been working on reading Oracle and Tarot, and so it's about time that I step into what I've practiced for this long, and so I'm excited to share with you messages from Spirit today. Very excited to be on here, and I have a new setup here, so we're going to see how this works today, so you can see the cards from overhead. I'm going to actually start with the Sacred Geometry deck that I have to see where we're at frequency wise. For some of you, I'm sure you had quite heavy energy moving through Scorpio season, so you're going to feel much of that lighten up moving into this, but we do still have some pretty powerful transits going on. We've got trines and squares. I'm not going to get into the astrology of it. That's not my expertise. It's certainly my interest and my fascination, and I do incorporate what I watch and what I learn from that as much as possible into my readings. So let's see where the frequency is at. Spirit, where's the frequency for the collective today? Universal love. Okay, that's beautiful. So that just kind of verifies what I was saying before about coming into a better, not as dark of an energy, where, you know, we were just in a place where there's an energy of purging and rebirth, so death and rebirth. So it's good that this frequency is coming up for today in the collective. It's a rainy day here in the desert on my birthday, and I was actually hoping for that. I kept saying it over the last 3 days because it's been so beautiful. The clouds have been beautiful, but I was like, oh, I hope we can get some rain from this. And this morning it sprinkled really nicely, and there's moisture in the air. And I actually had to turn my heater on, which I rarely ever have to do in the arid place that I live in. So anyway, universal love is the frequency that activates the connection we feel to each other, to our planet, and to the whole of existence itself. So that's pretty beautiful, and good way to start my beautiful birthday today. Yay. Half a century. Okay, so let's see what the Mystical Shaman Oracle has to say about who's working with us right now with this frequency. Okay, so the Tree of Life actually came out in the reverse, so we can speak about that in a little bit, but that just means that we need to exercise the medicine of this card, whatever it happens, you know, to be. And I can tell you that right now. Let's go ahead and get into that. It actually came out on its side, so, you know, technically it's in between the medicine and the essence of it. It sure is a pretty card, though. Let's see. And this is the universal love frequency, which is pretty much incorporating all of the chakras in those colors there. So universal, or the Tree of Life, discusses, it's a symbol of the It's a sacred symbol throughout the Americas. Its deep roots reach into the lower world, the unconscious, while its branches reach to the heavens, the source of destiny. To be whole in your life's journey, it is important to have deep roots and high branches. So in other words, a very good grounded connection to earth, as well as a crown chakra connection to source, to God. Tall tree with shallow roots falls in the wind, but a tree with deep roots can weather any storm. To find health and balance in your life, reflect on how you dance with your actions, your thoughts, and your feelings. If you are too much in your thinking head or in a world of fantasies and daydreaming, connect more with your roots and physical body. If you are caught in mechanical doing and are feeling stuck, not able to imagine a better life for yourself, open yourself to be inspired by the heavens and let your roots and branches be aligned with your heart's longings. The medicine for this card, which would apply as well, because like I said, it came out sideways, so that's a good sign that we're moving, into that, because we have the universal love that pulled up as well. But what nutrients do you need to add to your soil to grow strong? The seed of the oak will not grow on barren ground or without the light of the sun. What dreams do you want to awaken to create a mindful destiny? Reflect on how you want to blossom and the kind of fruit you want to produce, and where you want to sow your new seeds, and be a conscious creator. Okay? Beautiful. So, like I said, we're moving into that energy out of this this shedding season. So that's a really good thing. Okay, so let's see what the Wisdom Oracle has to say. Another new deck that I'm still getting acquainted with. Let's see, I don't really want to read these cards in reverse because they have a pretty standard meaning, so we want to shuffle them the right way. Okay, Spirit, so what wisdom can you offer us, Ascended Masters, Angels, for today out of the Wisdom Oracle deck? Okay, Observer just popped out, and that's a number 49 card. Oh wait, I need to do that again because some of the cards were missing when I shuffled, so let's try that again. Sorry about that, Spirit. I left part of the stack on my little table next to us. Okay, Spirit, so let's try that again. That was several cards, so let's just take this one. Okay, To Be Fair is what came out. That's a 38, which is an 11 card. This was a 58. So To Be Fair, I think I pulled this one the other day. But like I said, I'm still getting acquainted with this deck, so let's go ahead and read what that says. Balance, justice, a need to consider options, mutual benefit, and law of cause and effect. So Libra season was the balancing season, but I do feel that we're still doing that. We're still balancing things, that's what it feels like. Life offers experiences that are challenges and experiences that are nourishing, yet over time they strike a balance. You move from being to stasis, to doing, from discovering to loving, to letting go, to being again. Life is a pendulum swinging between all of these states, and you will always oscillate back and forth between doing and being. Wow, another sister of mine talked about that yesterday in a post that she did about doing and being. If you are not content with where you are in this moment, remember that all experiences have their place. Accept them without judgment, and you will see how the universe adjusts in perfect balance. You reap what you sow. For every cause there is an effect. Wondrous things will be revealed now. So any seeds that you've planted, are going to be growing soon for you, is what this is saying. Even though we're in a harvest season, you should be getting some benefit from that harvest, from the seeds that you planted earlier this year. Can you find a way to achieve fairness right now? This is a time for listening as well as speaking. This is in relationship. For understanding as well as asking to be understood. And there's much to be learned, and you will learn if you remain open and objective, weighing options and considering all sides. Your heart wants to connect to others, so allow for a balanced exchange of ideas and actions. The best kind of relationship is the one where there is mutual benefit. This just happens to be on page 144, which is a significant number for some of you. And each party feels heard, valued, and respected. Be fair to all. Prosperity message. Now is the time for even exchanges. Justice will prevail, and you will be treated accordingly in all of your affairs. You will be able to negotiate fair settlements. Mutual gain is the gift, and you and your partners for you and your partners and colleagues. It's also a good time to square your finances, take stock of how you've compensated for your work, of how you are compensated for your work. This card signifies balance, justice, and negotiations. So remember that all things must be fairly recompensed. Keep this as your truth, and so it will be. Your protection messages. Injustice and inequity are part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or are called to answer personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. Choose your cause and commit to it, because you can make a difference. And one thing is for certain, if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy, and courage. So yeah, it's very, very much a balance card. Excuse the planes. I live near an airbase, so you might hear planes flying overhead occasionally. Okay, so what about animal spirit? Love animal spirits. Is it still going? Okay. Love animal spirits. Let's see what animal spirit has some wisdom to offer us today. Loving this weather today. Nice and moist and cool. Beautiful. I've been seeing a lot of elephants coming up in my social media feeds lately. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Such a pretty card, isn't it? Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet, and you can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success. That's beautiful. So whoever's watching, if you feel these things are starting to resonate in your life, or maybe you're thinking, no, not really, well, if you're watching this, there's a reason why. And there is a Hindu god of symbolism to the elephant named Ganesh, that is the balancer and the clearer of all obstacles. So it's really awesome that the elephant came up today. I enjoy that a lot. So okay, so let's get a couple more from the is it Colette? No, it's Doreen Virtue. This is a deck that I don't think you can get any longer. It's such a nice deck, though. I love it. So let's see what messages the angels have to offer us right now as far as who's supporting us in our journeys. So important angels that we can tap into for energy and help and assistance at this time. Doreen Virtue has created some amazing decks. I really, really love them. Okay, beautiful. So belief and optimism are the two that came out. Saint Hildegard is the saint of belief, and you can always look into her a little bit further if you want to, but she's popping up for belief, and that is also a very golden and yellow energy, which resembles the sacral chakra, as some of you probably already know. And then optimism is that your guardian angel is helping you with your attitude and your optimism moving into the Sagittarius season. So, embrace joy right now, because even though there's a lot going on in the world, there's no reason why we can't enjoy joy in moments, right? There's no guilt behind feeling joy in moments like today with this rain and this beautiful coolness that I'm feeling. I love the cooler weather because it's so hot most of the year here that it can get unbearable at times. So let's go ahead and look at one of Kyle's decks. He's got some good decks as well. Kyle Gray. This is the angel deck of his. This is one of the first decks that I got. One of my first decks. It was the first deck that I purchased. Leap of Faith. Beautiful. So that just goes right in conjunction with belief. And this beautiful indigo color showing up with some purple hues as well, which those colors resemble the third eye as well as the crown chakra. So when we refer to the third eye, it's not necessarily a chakra, but it resembles our intuition. So those are things that are upgrading right now for a lot of people. Peaceful warrior. Okay, so we just talked about grounding with the tree of life and then their connection to source. So what a lovely synchronicity here with Archangel Ariel giving us that grounding that we need. That's beautiful. So that's an angel you can tap into to help you get grounded. But doing those meditations as well to ground, or walking on the earth, bare feet, getting grounded through water is a good way to just get grounded, so that when you do tap into source and those higher chakras, you're not feeling all flighty or disorganized. That's what grounding will help with. So those are some really nice messages coming up. Thank you, Spirit, for that. And we just had a lunar eclipse in Taurus. So let's see where the moon energies are taking us into this next, between now and the next new moon where we manifest. So hopefully you did some good releasing over this eclipse. And those eclipse energies last for a while, so you still have time. If you haven't done some releases, pop into that and don't let the past hold you back. So that's really awesome. That's your south node, and we are transiting soon into a different north node and a different south node. We're transiting from our we're transiting from our Gemini north node and our Sagittarius south node. Now we're transiting into a Taurus north node and a Scorpio south node. And this other transit lasted quite a while. I believe it was over a year. So any of you Sagittarians like me are probably starting to feel lighter, because that south node in Sagittarius is transiting now. And it's going into Scorpio as the south node. I also have Scorpio in my chart too, in my Venus. But the other two cards that showed up here is that the end of a tough cycle approaches. So there we go, full moon in Capricorn. And we do have a Capricorn season coming up after Sagittarius season. So, and then confidence is your key to success. So that's a new moon in Leo card. So those are all very good, powerful energies as well, as far as like transitions transits is what they're known as in as far as astrology talk goes. But yeah, those are fabulous. I like that the end of the tough cycle approaches. So you're going to be moving through the Sagittarius season. That's what this is telling me, that as we move through Sagittarius season and into Capricorn season, you know, we're ending a lot of things that were tough cycles for a very long time for us. So that's really huge. And that, like, that release energy that I told you about, that's why it's so important, because that's what helps us manifest. Is the more we let go of that isn't serving us, the more space we create for that which serves us and that which is our highest good. So keep that in mind when you're doing those things. Okay, so let's see what divine feminines we can tap into for any of you divine feminines out there, or masculines as well, that are balancing out your feminine energies, which is very it's actually happening quite a bit in the collective right now, that the masculines are working on that stuff. The more they shed old stuff, the more new stuff can come in. So I need to shuffle this a little more, I think, because those two cards came out for me for a reading, a personal reading I did for somebody the other day. Let's go ahead and shuffle a little bit better with that. Okay, divine feminines. These are ascended masters that were divine feminines, saints, and you know, across the universal saints. So not just saints from, like, say, the Catholic faith, but saints that are, you know, in other belief systems as well. So this is what we have here. We've got Zhu Shaojing, the mystic of peace. I am peace, and when my mind is clear, the way is clear. We just talked about that. That clearing, right? Isn't that a beautiful card? And then the white buffalo calf woman, she came up in my spread the day before yesterday. Prophetess of the sacred way. My heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance. So being in that heart space and, you know, getting balanced with that head space and that heart space, you know, so that we're not in our ego and that we're in our heart moving forward, is going to be really the key to abundance for us moving forward into this new year. There's some good things that are happening that, you know, has been a collective understanding for many of us light workers. There's going to be a shift, a huge shift, especially in relationships, happening in February. So if there's, you know, if you've been waiting on a renewal of another relationship, or, you know, a possible renewal of a past relationship, or even a brand new relationship coming in, February is going to be the time for it more than now, because it's been such tough transition type energy, and the masculine collective is clearing so much and balancing so much that's come to the surface with the Chiron energies, that it's been a very difficult time to either restart a relationship, have a new beginning, or to even start a new relationship for those of you that, you know, were trying to date, or just, you know, kept hitting brick walls and whatnot. Talked to a girlfriend of mine the other day about that, who's been like so trying to date and this and that, and I'm just telling her, you're kind of wasting your time right now. Just wait until after the holidays, because there's a lot of clearing going on in masculine energy right now, and it's just a better time to wait, especially if you're an empathic soul, you know, divine feminines, and divine masculines too. You know, there's feminines that are working on a lot of stuff as well. We're both working on stuff, so it's really not the time to start a new relationship yet. Honestly, it's really not. So you know, it's only a couple months away. If you look at it like that, that's just a drop in the space of time. So, you know, if you know you're going to have more success and you're working through some stuff on yourself right now, which everybody is, you know, if you're attracting things that you don't want, that means you've got stuff to work on. Honestly, it really does. And that's a hard lesson that I had to learn for myself. So I think I'm going to leave the spread at that. And thanks so much for listening today. I enjoyed giving you those messages, and I'm looking forward to giving you more and more on a consistent basis. So I love you, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.